Hi everyone, this is Linda, and I'm going to show you how to use your 8-way stitches built into your machine to create ribbon stitches, to attach ribbon and create some decorative effects. So this can be done using any machine that has a programmable 8-way stitches. So creating ribbon type stitches in our machines, and this can be done in any of the machines that have an 8-way stitch. So what I did, and I did this kind of as an experiment my first couple of times, and then I did a little bit more, but I'm just going to show you the basic, how do I get this this stitch so that I can stitch on ribbon and it creates this. Now you'll have to experiment to get more options, but this is just a beginning point. So let's see how we do that. So I happen to be using an Epic 2, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select the sewing mode, and I'm going to do start new. I'm going to go to program, and I'm going to go to the 8-way stitches. So what I need to do is I need to create a stitch to begin everything off. Now let's see if I can get to the beginning here. It's hard to see. There's this one's got blue on it. So what I did is I created this stitch here, and then that's my beginning stitch, and then I did a stitch going diagonal so that I knew how to lay the ribbon. And then what happens as I move on, it will do a stitch in here and I'll hold the ribbon down, I fold the ribbon out, and I'm actually going to stitch this once we get this created. So let's get started. So I'm in the program mode, and what I need to do is kind of have an idea of how wide is my ribbon going to be. And this happens to be 8 millimeters. And when I choose to do my first set of stitches, I'm going to choose one, and that's going to be a program length of 2.0. So that, because it's pretty small, but that's going to be my first little tack down. But now I need to get a stitch that's going to come over to the right and is going to give me an idea of where I need to lay my ribbon. So I'm going to do this like 10 times. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I know when this comes in here and stitches, it knows how long or where I need to lay that ribbon. So now I want to go backwards 1. So I'm just going to go up 1. And now what I need to do is tell the machine to stop stitching. So I'm going to select the stop button. So at this point, I can actually take my ribbon and lay it along here. And this is going to be back a little bit so that my needle is going to be back, so I can actually then go in here and lay my ribbon. It's going to be back here. Now I need to tack that ribbon down. So I went back 1, I'm going to go forward 1 again, and then I'm going to go at least 2 more, if not 3, so I'm going to just go 2 more. And so now what I need to do is send the ribbon, the stitches going this way. So this is actually tacked down my ribbon, and I'm going to have my ribbon laying off to the right. Now I'm going to actually tell it I need a stitch to go all the way over here and then back up 1. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, back 1, and then I'm going to put a stop in. So now what's going to happen again is it's going to stop. I now know I need to bring my ribbon going this way, and then when it starts again, it's going to start with that stitch. But remember, we only put 1 up there, and I actually need it to go further than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it from this point, I'm going to tell it to come down 1, and that's going to be the end of my stitch. And I need to stop at this point because now it's going to come, when it starts again, it's going to start going from that point forward. So remember, I only did 1 up there. So I actually want to go back and I'm going to put a second one in there because I came down 1 and I need it to go twice. So I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to, this is how I change my program. I'm just going to go up until I see that stitch blue. And now I'm at the very, very top. So I'm going to add 1 more stitch here. And I'm going to go once. So now what it'll do is it'll do 2 stitches, come over to the right, go back 1, go forward 3, over. Then what it does is it's going to go back 1. It's going to stop for me to lay my ribbon again, and then go forward and attach it. But I need it, that's the end of my stitches. So I'm just going to hit my check mark. Oops. And so what it's going to do is it's going to start continue, and it's going to continually to sew in with those stops in there that I programmed. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you, and I'm going to actually stitch this out. Okay, so I'm actually going to stitch this out. And remember, I'm going to do my first set of stitches. Now I just have a piece of blue jean just so that we can kind of, there's some contrast, and a piece of stabilizer underneath. I'm also using my S-foot. My screen actually tells me to use the S-foot because of the movement of this particular stitch. It makes it so much easier. So the first thing I'm going to do, and sometimes if you want, you can actually put a straight line down here so that you can actually see kind of where you're going. I'm just going to kind of guess with this particular one. But I'm going to use my start stop button. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set my machine for needle down so that it will actually stop with my needle down someplace. So I'm going to let it start to sew, and I'm going to hit my start stop button. And so now it's going to stop. So now I actually know, and because I have that in my start stop, I have it set with my needle down, it's going to stop in my pivot position, and I can slide. See this stitch here? Can you see that? I know it's tough to see. It's right here. And I'm actually going to take my ribbon and run it along right up, and it's going to be close to the needle, and I know exactly what angle it needs to go. So when it went and it stitched backwards one, so now it's going to cover up those stitches really nicely, and I'm going to use my start stop button again, and then it's going to sew my ribbon down. But if you notice, I have it so it pivots at this point in the center of my ribbon, so that way when I go and do this, and it covers up the stitches here, but it also covers up those stitches that was doing the angle. So I'm going to make sure that my ribbon is right up close to the needle. I'm going to hit my start stop button again. It's going to stitch, come over, and then it's going to come just, and you're just going to continue on until you are done. Oops, I can't get that underneath there for whatever reason. Right up next to the needle, and I'm going to continue on. Now I could actually start angling this off a little bit and just doing some fun stuff here. I don't have to go in a straight line if I don't want to. I know I might want to, oh, let's go, keep going this way. Again. Okay, now let's straighten him out a little bit. But I think you get the idea. So I have this kind of curving around the edge, and because I did that at 10 on my diagonal, I got a very long area here. So I hope I see some samples. Thank you.